Iron Candlestick, Arabic fairy tale. A long time ago, a poor widow sat by her window and looked out into the street. Suddenly, the lady saw a poor dervish wandering tiredly through the village. His emaciated appearance and patched clothes covered with dust evoked sympathy. Running out of the house, the woman called to the traveler. "Noble dervish," addressed the hostess, "enter the house and rest, because the well-known old truth says, he who helps his friends will be favored by fate, and he who hinders them will meet obstacles on his way, but how and well it will happen, no one knows." "Thank you, good woman," said the monk, and entered the house. He stayed for several days, had a great rest, and regained his strength. The widow had a son named Abdullah, who all his life was engaged only in cutting down the forest and taking firewood to the bazaar. The future didn't promise the boy any happy changes. The work of a woodcutter took up all the time and didn't give an opportunity to get out of the poverty. When the dervish began to prepare for the journey, he said to Abdullah, "Son, I am a man of knowledge, although I have a helpless appearance. I am respected because I can see things that others do not notice. Be my companion, and then I will share with you all the acquired knowledge and opportunities that happen on our way." The young man was very happy with such an offer, and they set off together. Travelers passed through many countries and encountered many challenges on the way. Once the dervish addressed, "Abdullah, finally we reached the goal after gaining a lot of knowledge, and now we will see what is revealed only to the chosen. The earth will split and open the entrance to treasures hidden many years ago." Then the sage mumbled some incomprehensible words, and Abdullah repeated them after him. Suddenly the ground trembled and the entrance to the dungeons opened before the travelers. "Now," said the dervish, "go down to the treasury and find an iron candlestick there. You will see many wonderful jewels, but do not touch anything. Remember that your only goal is an iron candlestick. As soon as you find it, go back." Going down to the treasury, Abdullah was stunned by the large number of brilliant jewels, gold vessels, and other amazing riches. Among all the treasures was an ordinary iron candlestick. Forgetting the sage's advice, the young man rushed to pick up the most beautiful stones. "Nothing terrible will happen," the boy decided, if I secretly hide a few jewels. So, having filled his pockets with valuables, the young man grabbed a candlestick and began to climb to the surface. But when he got out, there was no sign of dervish. Abdullah hurried to his mother to show the treasures as soon as possible. However, as soon as he poured out the stones, they suddenly began to melt and then disappeared. Only a candlestick with 12 candles remained. The young man lit one, and at the same moment a strange figure similar to a dervish appeared in front of him. The vision was a little dizzy, and then he put a coin on the ground and disappeared. Then the boy lit all 12 candles, and already 12 figures threw him a coin. Mother and son rejoiced because they understood that from now on they would have a good life when the dervishes would bring money every day. However, some time passed, and Abdullah, remembering the numerous treasures from the cave, decided to try to get really rich. Taking the candlestick with him, the young man went to the dungeon. He searched for an entrance for a long time, but in vain. At last, Abdullah reached an unfamiliar palace. The young man was very surprised when, entering the castle, he saw the same dervish, his former mentor. The monk was in royal clothes, surrounded by a crowd of students. Seeing Abdullah with candlestick, the sage said, "Now I will show you what miracles this candlestick can actually do." With these words, the dervish grabbed his staff and struck the magical object. At the same moment, each branch of the candlestick turned into a treasure that surpassed all the jewels in the cave in beauty and value. "You cannot use things correctly," said the dervish, "because you have not lived up to my trust. Come back home, but for at least returning the candlestick, I will give you a camel loaded with gold." But apparently the greedy Abdullah didn't think that the obtained wealth was enough. Therefore, the sly one secretly grabbed the amazing candlestick and set out on the road. Returning home, the boy lit candles and hit the magical object with a stick. But instead of jewels, 12 dervishes suddenly appeared again. In a moment, the figures raised a camel laden with gold and jewels, picked up a candlestick, and dissolved in air. Since then, Abdullah lost his peace forever because he couldn't forgive himself for the theft of which he got rid of the dream of wealth.